The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
And welcome to Rock Talk. We are here with Brady Hoover and Joe Tobin from Venting Machine. Welcome.
Hey, what's up? Hey, thank you. Thanks for having us, Aimee.
Yeah, totally. So I just saw you guys on the 1st at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco. You played with The Ghost Next Door, Strip Liquor, and Dress the Dead. That was quite the show. My God, Such energy. It was really awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing show. It was like one for the books for sure. Definitely want to thank Gary for hooking us up with that one. We have a mutual respect for one another, and the day he asked me, I was just like, of course it's yes. Of course I'll play.
Yeah, it was a real great show. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, there was. It was really impressive, the turnout. I think a lot of that had to do with the old school kind of, flying around town. Like, it seems like a lot of bands kind of skip that process because, it's more like social media. But, everybody kind of went out and flyered old school, and I think that really helped out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was standing room only for a while. And then even when it died down, there were still like 100 people standing there. It was pretty cool.
That's right. I mean, I think everybody did really good. I think it was a really good, mix of bands, and everybody played dynamite. So it was really fun to watch everybody, and everybody's different. Went really well.
Yeah, you flowed into the next band. It was really cool, and there wasn't too much time in between. I love the venue. It was nice and clean, and everybody was having a really good time. So, yeah, I hadn't been there for a few years. So what type of a band are you guys?
What type of a band are we?
Yes.
Well, I think that's kind of a hard class to classify, wouldn't you say?
we don't like to put ourselves into any one specific genre or any subgenre for that matter, because we all have a lot of different influences that we bring to the table. I think we definitely have. Obviously, we're heavy metal, but we have a lot of thrash influence, and we have a little bit of punk style, especially to some of the new material that we're writing. I don't know. We try to make it very well rounded, so that kind of no matter what background of music that you're really into, there's a little bit of something for everybody.
That's what I definitely heard that night. It was a metal montage, a bit of everything. It was really, really cool.
I like that.
Yeah. A little hardcore, some thrash. It was really awesome.
I just like, for me, it's really important just to have an adventurous headspace when you're making music. I think it's, too many times we get, people get pigeonholed into these certain, like Joe was saying, subgenres. And I think that it's really fun actually to work outside the box and, bring some black metal in and bring some doom and some death metal and into some thrash. So just throw everything in there and see what you come up with. And,
it's certainly unique.
Right.
You have a sound all your own, and that's really good to stand out from other people. So my hat's off to you right there. As far as your musical influences, Brady, who are yours?
Musical influences. I'd probably have to say Killjoy from Necrophagia was a huge one. He's definitely huge. I want to say Galder from Old Man Child. He was really huge influence as well. Oddly enough, Mike Patton, a huge Mike Patton fan. A lot of people just know him from Faith No More, but he's got this incredibly diverse range of music that I think is largely undiscovered, and I think people need to dive in.
Now, they have something coming out, don't they? Faith No More. Or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I mean, they just released, well, I shouldn't say they just, it was released, honestly, about 3 or 4 years ago, their newest album, but they could be in the studio. I haven't heard.
I thought I heard some chatter about that. I like them as well. Joe, what are your influences?
Well, let's see here. From the time I started actually playing, which was about 95 or so, I really got heavily into Vinnie Paul's drumming, Pantera, and then of course Nick Menza, Megadeth. I listened to a lot of Slayer at the time, so there was a little bit of mix of Dave Lombardo and Paul Bostaph both. Some of my later influences today, I like a lot of Gojira, some of Mario Duplantier.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of stuff that I listen to that a lot of other bands aren't into, just because I try to keep myself pretty well rounded. I listen to a lot of jazz and fusion, and
sure.
But Buddy Rich, of course, is one of my all time favorites. I think any drummer could agree. He's one of the greatest of all time, really. And of course, Dave Weckl. I figure the more well-rounded I can be, the better off I'm going to be. So, I listen to a lot of different stuff, but that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Great. So, how long have you guys known each other?
Wow, I'd say probably close to going on 25 years now. We all met I met Jeremy in junior high. And so we became buddies pretty fast. We had, he started talking about Metallica, and then I started talking about Metallica, and that was pretty much it. Jeremy's one of those kinds of guys where as long as you just name a heavy metal band, he's instantly your friend. So it made it easier for me. So, and then we started, and then we shifted over to high school, and then that's when we met Joe. And we met Joe at his freshman year. Yeah. So.
Well, then you guys have really grown together. You've probably went through things together, too, and that really solidifies a band. So that's good. That's probably why you sound so good.
Yeah, that's what helps it. It really does help, being friends first, and really getting along before the music even comes to play. That really does wonders because, we've heard horror stories from other bands, just like, they don't get along, they don't talk, and it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy to commit to practicing and what lyrics that you're writing. And who does write the lyrics for your band?
I do.
Okay. Now, how does it come together?
Well, usually the guys will send me, all the tracks musically, finished in demo versions, and then I usually just, I'll listen to each song over and over again. And then how I usually work is I usually just pick a topic first. And so whatever's bothering me or whatever's on my mind at the time, and then I'll just kind of pick the topic and then go from there. And then usually try to structure the lyrics off that.
Well, it's very therapeutic too, writing. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. This band has been a huge cathartic outlet for me. It's just, it's like I've had problems with, social anxiety and different anxiety my whole life. So, just to be able to go on stage was a huge, Undertaking, sure, we'll go with that one. So, it's really helped me out over the years because I was, I used to be incredibly shy and very introverted, and so these guys kind of pulled me out of my shell, and I was able to, make some amazing, exposure therapy is
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys certainly are fun to watch. You don't take your eyes off you, it's just, you're intense. You're all over the stage. You have good chemistry. Everything flows together. I was really impressed with Jimbo, the bass player. I had never seen a bass like that in my life. And I've went to hundreds of concerts, and I was like, wow, something new. This is really freaking cool. Yeah,
Jim was quite an amazing guy. He, we started off, playing him back when we were called Breach. We played with his band at the time called Threefold, and so that's how we got to know one another. And we were just absolutely, even back then, we were just floored with his abilities, and we always really wanted him to join back then, but we could just never get him to fully commit. And then, our previous bass player, Luis, he jumped out and wanted to, try more of a rock thing and join a rock band. So, we said, hey, do your thing, no problem. So we're kind of scratching our heads on who to pick next. And Jimbo automatically came into our minds, and we're like, well, geez, do you think we can get him? And so we called him, and he's like, you know what, I'm totally down to jam with you guys and see what we can do. And then the rest is history.
Yeah, your presence on stage is really great, Brady, and you'd never know that you have any anxiety whatsoever. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah, well, fake it till you make it, right? So.
I guess that's true. It is true for all of us. So How has your music evolved through the years?
You want to take that one?
I think it's been a hell of a process, because we have gone from, literally, no joke, Jeremy started originally on drums and switched to guitars, and that's when I met him. He, quote unquote, he said, I don't see a reason to be a drummer when I have somebody else that can drum better than me, and I've already been working on guitar. I think I'll just go ahead and step over to the guitar world. So,
wow.
So he went ahead and started playing guitars, and this dude, he just excelled amazingly fast at it. We're 17, 18 years old, and this dude is just, his fingers are flying. He's able to play these solos. It's just unreal. So we started writing music, and our goal each time we write a new song is to kind of write a song better than our last song. And it's kind of like a battle within ourselves. And so I think that makes us strive to write better and better music. Everybody has their own perception of a song, right? But like Brady said, whether it's heavy and doomy, or it's fast and has some thrash or some death metal influence to it, there's a lot of strategic, how should I word it? There's a lot of difficulty in writing a slow, heavy song as there is writing a fast song.
Yeah.
So both, a lot of metal drummers out there have trouble playing AC/DC, because you got to be able to withhold and hold a steady beat and play 4 on the floor. And for a lot of guys, it's just not that easy. So I think that we have evolved in a way that has made each and every one of us a better musician. I think the direction that we're going is pretty intense. It's going to be the best music that we've ever come out with. This last album was really, really good, but I feel this next album is going to be even better. And I can't wait for everybody to hear it. I'm very excited about it.
Your last CD that you put out was in August of 2017?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And so when is the next one coming out? Do you have a date, or?
No date yet. We just basically have about 8 songs right now completely finished, music-wise anyways. And so I'm just kind of doing my, lyric thing right now. That usually takes me a long time. I don't like to just jot anything down. I go through this painstaking process, and it usually takes me, anywhere from 3 weeks to a month to just do one song, because I just like to make sure it's perfect, and I overanalyze things to death, and so the lyrics that finally made it onto Shackles Be Gone was, me literally throwing away hundreds of other versions before that.
He's not kidding either.
Well, hey, when you know, right?
yeah, right. He'll send us a copy, and we're like, oh, bro, that's badass. And then he sends us, you know what, guys, check this out. Here's version 32. I've changed it. And then we're like, okay, I like that. You're right. That was good. And the next thing, hey guys, here's version 43. So he's ever evolving.
Well, that's brilliant. So as far as the length of, you guys have known each other quite some time. So have you been playing as this band, Venting Machine, this long, or?
Since 2002, so we were called Breach, and we jammed underneath that name for let's see, since 98, so
yeah, 4 years.
4 years, yeah. So, and then we found out there was another band overseas with the same name, and they were already signed. So, rather than deal with the legal ramifications of that, we said, you know what, screw this, let's just change our name and start over. And
you know what? That's funny that you say that. I've interviewed several bands that have come up with that issue of the name already being taken somewhere. Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, it's you wouldn't think it, but it's definitely something that you struggle with. It's probably hard to give up something too that you're attached to. I mean, that's part of your identity is the name.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So your friendship basically inspired you guys to start making music together. Am I right?
Yeah, just that and the love of different bands. Like, I mean, we all had a huge love for Pantera. Obviously, that was probably one of our biggest influences as a band. So we used to drive around as kids, literally blasting, Volga Display of Power as loud as we could, so.
Well, I'm still doing that.
oh, yeah, we totally. I mean, that's one of those albums that will just never go away.
So what is one of your biggest challenges that you guys have faced together?
Biggest challenges? That is a good question. Probably finding, I don't know, you want to take this?
Well, I would say, just to be honest, I would say one of our biggest challenges is, no shit, man. We all literally live in 4 different corners of
that's true.
Of
all
the
spread
state.
out.
And so a lot of bands all live within the same city or even the same county.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all 4 of us live in 4 different counties. So we are fairly spread out. Of course, we all meet at one central location, for practice at our studio. But it takes me over an hour and a half just get to the studio. It takes the bass player about an hour and 20 minutes to get there, and we all seem to manage to do it. So, if that speaks of dedication.
Yeah. And your families too. I'm sure that they give up having you around for the band as well, right?
Absolutely, they do. But when the time's right, we do try to have the family. I'll speak for myself. I try to have my family there. I don't ever want to exclude the family.
Yeah.
I grew up with my father being a vocalist. All of my childhood and most of my adolescent life as well. I can't really recall any times that my father ever excluded me from recording the actual studios.
Mm-hmm.
When he recorded in Bayview Studios out in Bayview, any of the rehearsal, practices, any of their gigs. Of course, if I was underage and wasn't allowed in, that's a different story. But I've kind of taken that mentality, and I think it's an art. Like Brady was saying, it's definitely an art, and I want my kids to be a part of that. And of course, there's times where I get my own time, and they're not there, but that's my family. They're there forever. So
it sounds like your father's been a major influence in your life too, and that's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. It's good to have the love and support of your family, especially your parents.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. As far as the record industry, how do you guys feel about it? I know there's been so many changes in the last 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely. That's we've all talked about that, and it does seem like increasingly more of a challenge to get signed and get the kind of support that bands in the past have. We've gotten some independent and record label interest, and it was just nothing that was strong enough to get us to quit our high paying jobs. I won't say high paying, but paying jobs. But so it's a lot to walk away from. The uncertainty of signing to a label these days is pretty intense. So there's a chance that you could let's say you do quit your job, you go out on the road, and there's no tour support, no money involved, and you're starving, and that's probably a pretty classic tale for most bands.
Yeah.
So,
well, slow and steady wins the race, right? The turtle won.
It's crazy because every day there's 100 new labels, little indie labels coming out, and they all want to promise you something. And like Brady was saying, the last thing we want to do is sign over all the rights to our music and just catch a raw deal. We've been at this for too long. We know what we want. We know what we're in search of.
Yeah.
And we're just taking it slow and steady, like you said. We're not in any rush. If it happens, it happens. And we just do it because we love it, really. So
that's what it boils down to, is just the love of it, the art of it. That's the most important thing, is just the creation aspect of it, the art of it. Whether there's a record label or not, we honestly get up every morning and do this because it's truly in our DNA. And I think I can speak for all the musicians in the scene, that we play with. The odds of getting signed are very rare for most bands. I think Dave Mustaine from Megadeth said it perfectly, and he said the odds of you getting signed to a label, especially a bigger label, is the odds of like you making it in making it like on a national baseball league or something like that. That's how crazy the odds are. So I think everybody in the scene that we play with, everybody's doing it because they truly love it, and you can see it in everybody's performance. They just are there for the art of it. They're there for the brotherhood of metal, and this is definitely one of the best communities out there.
It is. I've numerous times with different bands have discussed that very thing. There is a uniqueness about the Bay Area. And, I've been going to shows since I was 15, and I see the same faces. I might not know you personally, but I know you in my circle of music, and it's really a cool thing to have. I have relatives on the East Coast, and I've talked to them, and they don't have that. So
right.
It's really something unique and special, and I think that a lot of people might not get signed, but I think the odds are in your favor. I really think that the doors will open for you guys, and you'll know it. You just go with your gut, and then it'll happen. Just you watch.
I think that's honestly the most important thing. Is like, I think that from all the stories that I've heard, is like when you stop paying attention to it, when you quit hunting for it, and you just really just concentrate on your art.
Yeah.
And getting out your love for the music and creation, and you just bury your head in that, and don't really concentrate on anything else, and kind of forget the record contract, kind of forget all that stuff.
Because it'll speak for itself. Your music speaks for itself.
That seems to be when the magic actually happens, is when you decide to ignore those things.
I mean, you guys have been in some great clubs around the Bay Area. You've played with all kinds of people that are already signed. You've been in magazines. You're doing this interview. I'm sure you've done plenty more, and I'm sure there's more on the next page, As far as the fans out there, how do we gain access to your music?
Well, of course, we're on Facebook, and we're on Reverb Nation. We're in the process of building a band. What is it called? Bandcamp. We're in the process of building a Bandcamp page. You can find all of our music on iTunes, CD Baby. So we're definitely out there.
Google Play Music.
Yeah, we're on Google Play. We're all the major streaming services. We're on that. So it's pretty easy to find us. Just with a search engine.
YouTube.
Well, I'll make sure that I put them all together on the interview on my website, and then fans, when they listen to the interview, then they can just click and get what they need from you, right?
Yeah, I appreciate a lot of that.
Certainly. So, you guys, do you have any advice for newer bands out there that are just starting out? What's the chunks of wisdom you can throw their way?
I would definitely say to just honestly ignore, just give them the same advice that that we've done. It's just ignore what everybody thinks you should do in music, and just literally just follow your heart. Do your music, and basically ignore everything that's around you. As far as advice from other bands, other people, it's just I feel like if you follow your heart. Because there's going to be plenty of people in the world that are going to absolutely hate your music, and you have to live with that. So I think it's just best to ignore most of it and just do your thing. And I think that's what most successful bands truly do, is I think they don't let outside influences trickle in when they're writing, and they just kind of say, well, what do we want to do, and how do we want to write this? And so
I agree. I'd like to add to that. Ignore outside influence, do it because you love it, and don't fall into the cookie cutter realm of writing music, because as soon as that listener hears the same old song they've heard 100 times before, they're going to lose interest.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to try new things. That's and that's what we do. I like to think that that's why we're a little bit different from a lot of other local bands, is we're always touching back on the evolving thing. Like I said, we're always evolving. We try to not make our next song sound like the previous one. I mean, we do kind of categorize them into a one type of genre for an album, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we're always changing, and you just can't be afraid to try something new. Like Brady was saying, one of his major influences is Mike Patton. I mean, listen to that dude. He's always doing some crazy off-the-wall stuff, and look where it's got him, And people love something new and exciting, something different.
You're correct.
So we're always trying to come up with something new and different for everybody to listen to and enjoy.
That's awesome. So tell us about your next shows coming up.
Well, the only one that we have the books right now, we got I believe a San Jose show in the works, but as of right now, we have the April 6th show at Toots Tavern in Crockett, California, and our good friend Dwayne hooked us up with that show. So.
Awesome. I love that place.
I do too. It's so weird because everybody's got different opinions about different clubs, but for me personally, I like the more intimate, I guess I wouldn't say clubs like the Gilman in Berkeley, and clubs like Toots and stuff like that. They have like this really intimate. It just makes you feel good when you're in there. I don't know what it is. I think we're just.
It's an easiness. It's an easiness. You feel kind of like your family's there.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, I the experience of playing the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco, that was like one of those, milestone moments where you have to, pinch yourself like, this is incredible. I mean, just the beautiful structure of the building and
it is beautiful.
And how many bands that we've all, listened to in the past that are some of our favorites that have played there. It's just unreal. Just a very surreal moment.
Now, as far as playing the bigger clubs and the smaller ones, which ones do you actually like the best? I mean, if you had to pick, big or small?
That's a tough one because I mean they're both. I enjoy them equally, which is kind of strange to say, but that's just my opinion. But on sets where we have a lot more aggressive songs on the bill, and think the set's like really fast and really aggressive, then I prefer like the smaller clubs, But when we have songs like Elder Witch and songs that are a lot more musical and have a lot more length to them, I prefer playing those songs in the bigger clubs, So yeah.
Now, will there be tickets at the door, or can we buy the tickets online for Toots?
That I honestly do not have that answer right now. I probably should have researched that.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll get it up on the website.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. So I will definitely be there. I'm super excited. This will be my second show of Venting Machine. I want to know where did you come up with the name?
Actually, it was originally a song on the what would have been, I guess, Breach's second album.
Really?
So there was going to be a song called "The Venting Machine," and there actually is a song called "The Venting Machine" on our Diablo demo. And so, we were kind of mulling over song titles, and I just thought, I went to the guys to say, hey, how would you feel about calling it after this song, The Vending Machine? And so everybody's pretty easygoing in this band, and they said, that's a great idea. And so that's how this is a very anticlimactic story, but that's how it happened.
So the Venting Machine, what does it stand for? What does it mean?
Sure, that's an easy one. It's basically just getting everything off your chest that bothers you in life. So it's not holding back. It's just an outlet for expression. I think that there's a lot of depression and anxiety and a lot of emotional turmoil that goes on in our lives, and I think that we don't like to talk about it a lot, and I think that a lot of people push it down and keep it to themselves, and I think that's when a lot of negative impacts in the body can take place because of that. So I think that if you have an outlet like the vending machine, you're able to get a lot of weight and negativity off your chest. And I think that's what the vending machine represents, is basically getting, letting go and of the negative and basically, hopefully the result will be something positive.
Yeah, like all this great music that you're making, right? I mean, seriously, it's got to come from somewhere, and that's really where it's from.
Right.
So
yeah, at the end of the day, that's what I strive for. I mean, a lot of my lyrics are dark, and they have a lot of, I guess, from an outside perspective, a lot of negativity. But genuinely, I'm a positive person, and I strive for positivity as much as possible. And I think that, and I think most people do. I think most people desire happiness. So,
well, I'd like to add that this dude's lyrics they're deep.
They're awesome.
And yeah, they definitely are. Like he said, it takes him a month or two just to work on one song because he doesn't want to just put something out overnight just for the sake of saying, hey guys, I got a song done. And the proof is in the pudding. If you go watch any of our lyric videos that we've had made, read the lyrics when you're listening to Brady sing live. He's complimenting the music very well, and it sounds good. But depending on the house PA that he's singing over, that we're playing on, mm-hmm. it can be difficult to hear what he's saying. I mean, and even in some of the best metal bands, it's hard to understand what they're saying. When you finally open up that physical CD, that booklet, you're like, oh shit, this is what he was saying. Well, even myself being in the band, when I finally got to read the lyrics, I was just blown away. And then seeing it play in front of me in person in a lyric video just makes it 10 times better. So I recommend you can YouTube a number of about 4 or 5 songs off of our Shackles Be Gone album and read the lyrics and try to follow what this guy's talking about. It will blow you away how non-cookie cutter his lyrics are. I mean,
each song has a life of its own, and it's an emotion that he's worked out.
Every line,
yeah,
is very important to him.
It's amazing.
What it is, what it all breaks down to is literally I use it for a therapy, and it's not meant to impress or get anyone's approval. It's literally I just purely want this to be a therapeutical thing for me.
But it's also for the fans, because that's why I listen to music. It's a language all its own, for one, and it gives us the feelings and helps us process things,
Yep.
And you're doing a really good thing for everybody, and it's just going to continue to grow. And
that's another huge thing for me. Like that's if I can help somebody, that's the ultimate goal, because there's a song on the new album that was incredibly hard for me to write, and it almost didn't get written, and that's a song called "Dying to Survive Myself." And Just being brutally honest, for a few years, I was just don't know any other way to say it. I was suicidal, and I just did not want to live anymore. So I was going through one of the darkest times of my life, and so that's what that song is about. And I really felt like it was extremely uncomfortable to write, but I felt like at the same time it needed to get out, because I feel like there's so many millions of people around the world that just have trouble with mental illness and not feeling like they have a place in the world and feel like they don't belong. And I'm one of those people. So if they can find some kind of solace in my words, then all the better, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. And I know your fan base is going to grow and grow, and I'm thrilled to have had you guys on tonight. We're going to get into the music. You sent me 3 songs, and we're going to be listening to those. As far as, are they on your last album, or are we getting a sneak peek of what's to come?
No sneak peek yet. Although I will give away, though, for the listeners, that we are planning to play a brand new song live on April 6th at Toots Tavern that no one's ever heard before. So
right on.
If they do come out, they're gonna be treated to a brand new tune. So
awesome.
We'll see that.
Well, that is awesome. All right, so we're going to get into the music, and thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate your time. It was great getting to know you, and you've gained some more fans for the vending machine.
Absolutely. Just, I want to say thank you, Aimee.
You're welcome.
The photography from Rock Talk, and it was just amazing, and thank you for just taking the time and checking us out.
Yes.
We really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing great music to everybody. So, yeah. My hat's off to you, and I'm very thankful for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual.
We appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Anytime. And after your next album, we'll have you back again.
Oh, our pleasure.
Can't wait. I can't wait.
Alrighty. So here's our first song.
My pact with the Ursula. Hear me! Hear me! I will do thy bidding for all eternity. For all eternity shall I practice the ritual of Black Mass. For all eternity shall I sacrifice unto thee. I give thee my soul. Take me into thy service.
dawn. We found the gift of sound we had within. The purpose was calling, the giving storm, the lightning opened the door. In operate, blood and yeah.
cheeseburger. Doesn't matter what kind of sandwich, sir. I'll explain later. Thank you, sir. Jimmy John's. Come in. Sir, did you know your house is on fire? Yes, I did. Grab a bucket. Jimmy John's. Come in. Sir, did you know your house is on fire? Grab a bucket. Jimmy John's. Come in. Sir, did you know... Yes, I did. Grab a bucket. Jimmy John's. Come in. Sir, did you... Yes, I did. Grab a bucket. Fire department. Come in. Sir, did you know you... It's okay, Captain. We got it handled. Care for a sandwich? Thanks, but tell me something. Shoot. Why didn't you call the fire department first? I did. Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery.
Channel switched.
We're live.
All right. Well, that was Venting Machine. Excellent band. So excited to have them on the show. And speaking of the show, thanks so much, Jim, for saving it tonight. Here out in California, there's some storms that are just really playing just a lot of bad internet connections, and phone lines are down. It's just awful out there. It's coming down so fast and hard that it's actually coming down sideways, that kind of rain. So I'll probably repeat this show next week because I'm not going to be able to do a bunch of the news or anything because I'm on the phone from California to Boston or New Hampshire right now.
Right.
So, but we are going to hear a lot of good heavy metal music tonight. Some more on that note. We're going to be listening to some Motorhead and Prong, some Slayer, some Pantera, Violence, some Metallica. So basically we're just going to be playing music tonight and then some ads. And then next week I'll redo the show and we'll hear the news and all the different shows that are coming up. And make sure that you look on the Facebook page, Rock Talk Facebook page, and the Rock Talk USA website for all the new information and different shows that are going to be playing this weekend, as well as different things that we've written on the blog. There's some new information about Peter Frampton and his condition and just some other good things as well as that. But check it out, and we're going to get back into the music, and we're going to hear some Eye of the Witch by King Diamond. Is that what's up, or is it Devil's Island by Beth?
I got to bring it up, so keep talking.
Well, Jim's saving my ass tonight, so thank you, Jim, and we're going to get into the music as soon as she can get it on.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're gonna go in there and say something, or I'm gonna shove my arm up your ass and work you like a puppet!
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Now here it is, you tit turd.
Savino Wine Preservation System is wine preservation glassware. Savino is an easy-to-use wine preservation system that allows you to enjoy your favorite wines anytime without waiting for an occasion. Open any bottle with confidence, knowing that you can enjoy the full original flavor of Tuesday's wine on Saturday. For more information, visit us at www.savinowine.com. Today's wine, tomorrow.
What do you want, fucko? You want some? Huh? Do you like good music? I do.
You are arrogant, hot-tempered, and entirely too bold. I like that.
Thankful to feel
expectations of my daily bread. Kiss me the hunger to steal. You want the good life. You break your back. You snap your fingers. You snap your neck. You want the good life. You break your back. You snap your fingers. You snap your neck.
Beef jerky?
Oh, no, son, thank you very much. No, it gives me the wind, something terrible.
Oh. I'm gonna touch a hangover, bureaucrat. Don't push me.
Nobody touches us at all. Shout out, shoot out, spread fear of the without us. Make that tank walks off the wheel. Spread the word throughout the land. They say, bad guys, we're black. We're tan, you can't turn me. You see us coming and you all together run for cover. We'll take it over this town. Here it comes, reach for your gun and you better listen well, my friend. You see, it's best now down below. You and the devils of hell. Tears down again, we won. They talking no tall tales, but just I knew your doom would come and be out with the devils of hell. Sing it. Oh, village to village, I see, but better not take it out on me, cause your sound is found where your city used to be. So out of the darkness and into the light, sparks fly everywhere inside from our double barrel 12 gauge. Cannot be any okay. You see us coming and you all together run for cover. We'll take it over this town. Here we come, reach for your gun and you better listen well, my friend. You see, it's best now down below. Aim at you with the covers of hell. Tears down, yeah, we war. Ain't talking no tall tales, friend, cause I knew your two were coming me out with the cowboys from hell.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Get your mind. Baby,
fast you were going, son?
Call me Ed.
Do you know how fast you were going, Ed?
You mean exactly?
Yes, exactly.
No, not exactly. How fast?
Fast.
Fast, sir?
You were going very fast.
Fast is my job, officer.
Fast is your job?
Yes, sir.
What kind of job?
I deliver, sir.
What do you deliver?
The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
So you deliver for Jimmy John's?
I deliver for Jimmy John's.
So do you always deliver fast?
I always deliver fast.
How fast?
I deliver something so fast you freak.
It's not smart to freak a cop, son.
You didn't order Jimmy John's sub, sir.
So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it?
Now.
What if I don't want it now?
Then call later.
Or I could pick it up myself.
Or you can pick it up yourself.
Because I'm pretty fast, too.
I'm sure you are, sir.
Very fast.
I believe you, sir.
Faster than you.
No way, sir.
Way faster.
In your dreams.
You dissing me, son?
No, sir, I'm polite.
Fast and polite?
Very polite and very, very fast.
Is that a challenge, son?
No, sir, it's a fact.
Let's burn rubber, kid.
It wouldn't be fair.
Why not?
You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers.
So?
I've got a 10-speed bike.
I'll let you off with a warning.
We smoked this whole lid, man, and I haven't even got a buzz yet.